As a landscaper in Texas, you're focused on delivering quality service, whether it's routine lawn care or a new installation. But did you know that many landscaping businesses face unexpected issues when it comes to sales tax audits? Failing to understand what's taxable, how to report it, and how to keep the right records could cost you big time. Let's talk about the common pitfalls landscapers face during a sales tax audit and, more importantly, how you can avoid them. One of the biggest issues we see with landscapers is underreporting taxable services. In Texas, taxable landscaping services include planting, transplanting, treatment for disease prevention and curing, pruning, fertilizing, watering, mowing, trimming, edging, maintaining landscape beds, and tree trimming, to name a few. Many landscapers don't realize this and fail to charge sales tax to their clients. Unfortunately, during an audit, if the auditor finds out you didn't collect sales tax for taxable services, you could be held liable for the uncollected tax, plus penalties and interest. Here's how you avoid that. Always know what's taxable and what's not. While landscaping services are taxable, hardscaping jobs are taxed differently. What do I mean by hardscaping? Well, hardscaping includes permanent improvements to real property, such as building a deck, sidewalk, retaining wall, and irrigation installations. Most of the time, labor on hardscaping is not taxable. Another common pitfall is failing to separate landscaping services from hardscaping jobs in your billing. For example, if you're doing both landscaping and hardscaping in one project, you need to break down those charges. If you just bill it as one lump sum, the auditor might decide that the entire amount is taxable, even the parts that aren't. The solution? Itemize your invoices. Separate the landscaping, like planting or transplanting, from the hardscaping jobs, like labor to install an irrigation system. This way, you're only paying tax on what's required, and you have the records to back it up if you're audited. And what if you're working with tax-exempt clients, like schools, churches, or government entities? You need to be careful here too. If you don't have proper documentation, like a valid exemption certificate, you could be on the hook for sales tax you thought was exempt. Always make sure you collect and file those certificates, and keep them for at least 4 years, just in case. Speaking of documentation, one of the most important things you can do to avoid sales tax audit issues is keeping accurate records. If your records are disorganized or incomplete, an auditor can make their own estimates about how much tax you owe. And trust me, they tend to err on the side of collecting more, not less. So keep clear records of every job, every invoice, and every exemption. Make sure you're documenting everything from sales tax collected to non-taxable services provided. Good record keeping is your best defense. And if you're already in the middle of an audit, don't panic. Texas Tax Group can still step in to ensure that the audit is accurate. Once hired, we step directly into your shoes and review all taxability issues, and then one of our 15 former Texas Comptroller auditors then works directly with your auditor. In many cases, we invite the auditor to one of our 4 spacious offices located in Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and Austin in order to host the remainder of the audit. In many cases, we find credits and refunds for sales taxes paid in error to vendors for materials used in landscaping jobs. In other cases, we identify exempt jobs, i.e. new homes, schools, churches, that should not have been taxed. If you work as a subcontractor, we then obtain an exempt or resale certificates that might apply. Even if we find that certain sales are taxable and you did not charge the sales tax, we double check to see if the customer might have already been audited and paid the sales tax. Any sales tax assessed on your sales or purchases that was not due is not good news. Additional penalties and interest can also be applied to these tax assessments. The agency audits landscapers more than any other business in Texas. In fact, 75% of all landscaper audits result in the business owners owing additional tax, penalties, and interest. TTG has helped reduce incorrect landscaper audit assessments since 2007. Know your rights. Don't be overtaxed. Look, no one likes dealing with sales tax audits, but the good news is, with the right preparation, you can avoid the most common pitfalls. Make sure you're correctly reporting your taxable services, separating your invoices, keeping accurate records, and collecting those exemption certificates when needed. If you're not sure where to start or you're worried about an upcoming audit, Texas Tax Group is here to help. With over 40 years of experience, we know how to protect businesses like yours. And right now, we're offering a free consultation to landscapers. Let us review your records and help you avoid costly mistakes. Contact us today.